I'm DeDe. For this session, we'll perform seated exercises in the chair, which will challenge both our balance as well as our mobility. What you'll need for this is a sturdy, armless chair, some athletic shoes, plenty of space, some water to sip on if you feel like you need to take a sip or two, and you'll need to give yourself permission to only do what feels right for you and to only move at the pace that feels right for you. So slow down if you need to, skip something if you need to, or take one of my options. So let's begin. Sitting. Nice and tall, not using the back of the chair, sitting up on our own volition. Ankles under the knees, legs in line with your hip joints, ear, shoulder, hip, all in a straight line. Now you can hold the chair or have your hands in your lap at any time. Let's tap the toes. Right, left, lifting the toes up high. And we go a little faster. Right and left, right and left. Just a reminder, this movement is present when we're walking. Every time we do a heel strike in front of us with our lead leg when we're walking, we have to do this, what's called dorsiflexion of our ankles, to get a good heel strike. So this is integral in our ability to locomote and walk. Now quick, quick, slow. So we go quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow. You'll see it alternates every time. Starting foot is different every time. Now tiptoes, both heels up, both heels down. Make sure that your feet didn't go forward when you were doing the toe taps. You still have ankles under knees, and you still have a plumb line with your shins. Now let's start to provide a little resistance with our hands, resisting as the knees come up. We press down. So what does that start to involve? Our core muscles, right? Our shoulders, our abdominals, some of our back muscles. Make sure you keep breathing, especially when you're doing any pressing that creates a little bit of strain and effort. You want to not hold your breath during that. Exhale during that part, if you can think of it. Two more. Now let's alternate our heels up. So we go right and left and right and left. How about your arms? Alternating. Now let's go faster. Right heel, left heel, right heel, left heel. Now just like this, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow. So of course this movement is also present when we're walking. It's the back foot. As we do that heel strike forward, our back foot is coming up on the toes. So it's important that we keep the heel strike position as well as this plantar flexion or tiptoes really keen. We want to be keen at being able to do both of these. We want to keep ourselves able to do it through flexibility, mobility, and awareness. Now we go slow. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Now put your hands back on your legs. Now let's try this. One heel up with one set of toes up. So it's right heel, left toes, left heel, right toes. Switch and switch. It might take you a second to get it. It might take your brain a second. So if it helps you, look down. You want to have one set of toes up while the other heel is up. You got it? So when we do two different things, from one foot to the other, or one arm to the other. It takes more brain power, doesn't it? More concentration. And that's also something that we want to keep keen as we age. Our ability to concentrate and to coordinate brain and body together, that's important. Now, if you have it, let's try going a little faster. One and the other, and one and the other. You see I'm sliding my hands on the heel lifting side, my hand goes forward. You can incorporate that if you're not having any issues at all getting this coordinated. That's an option. One and the other, one and the other. Well, I'm feeling warmer already. Maybe it's all that brain power. I hope you are too. Now bring your heels down. Let's roll the shoulder right and left. Now let's try coordinating our lower body with our upper body. So with the shoulder roll, we now have an ankle circle, shoulder roll, same time, same side. And you can opt out of doing both and do one or the other. How about with the elbow leading? Can you still get the ankle circle as well? Four more. Now bring your arms down and your heels down. Let's march. Right, left, right, left. Pick up your foot. Flex your foot so the toes don't drag. 1, 2, 1, 2. Add the arms. Now quick, quick, slow. So we go quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow. So we're warming up still, but we're also now beginning to work on our balance because we're picking up one foot. Even though we're sitting. This is still about balance. So stay mindful. Keep your spine long and straight. And keep your eyes open. You may know this, but our eyes play a huge role in balancing. So anytime you're balancing, if your eyes are closed or if it's dark where you're trying to balance, that creates a lot more challenge. So only do that if you're feeling really comfortable, or you might want to not do that ever, unless you're in a really safe environment, like you're holding on to a countertop, something like that when you're standing. Now instead of going slow, let's tap the toes down. 2, 3, tap. 1, 2, 3, tap. So it's not slow now, it's a tap. Now can you tap further forward? Tap. Pointing the toes, allowing the leg to straighten a little bit. Reach the foot forward and tap. Now how about if we don't just tap straight ahead, but we tap out to the diagonal? Can we try that? So now that we're changing the angle, we're picking up our foot and we're reaching the leg away. That's more balance challenge. 1, 2, 3, out. Now how about if we add a pushing arm instead of these pumping arms, like this? Push, 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 push. Try to keep your shoulders relaxed. How about bigger arms? At any time, you can go back to one of the versions of this that was easier. anytime. Anytime you can stop and grab a sip of water, anytime. How about no bending of the elbows now? Push and push, push, push. Now, how about just the tap out to the side? A little bend in the elbows now, just tap, tap. Now, I'm turning my torso and my head. You don't have to do that. You can look forward. That's a little easier for balance. If you want to turn your head, if you want to turn your torso, just be careful. Are you still sitting up tall? Make sure you're not leaning back. All right, and we stop and we go up on our tiptoes. Resist and down. Resist with your hands. Remember, this is pushing down while your knees try to lift up. And we're going to exhale during that part. Shoulders away from ears. All right, now hold on to the chair. Let's do a step touch. Start on the right. Right and left, over, together, open, together, open, together. Now, it doesn't have to be a big step touch. Mine's kind of big. Yours can be smaller, more abbreviated. I want you to choose the one that works for you. All right, you got a feel for it? Let's go faster. Out, out, out. All right, that's holding on, right? What about not holding on with one or both hands? You okay with that? Now, what if we take our arms out? And what if we do the same thing with our arms that we're doing with our legs? Is that too fast? You can go slower. How's the posture? How about bigger arms? How about turning the torso a little bit? And the head? It's okay if you want to look forward, that's okay. Otherwise. Now, can we go a little higher with the arms? A little lower with the arms. How's your breathing? Should be a little more quick. Heart rate is up a little bit probably. Hands on your legs now. Make it smaller, more abbreviated if it's not already. Now step the feet in to about hip joint distance. Resist with your hands. Resist and down. Resist and down. So our heart rate just now went up, and now we're going to bring it down the other side of that bell-shaped curve, right? We gradually elevated it. Now we're going to gradually decrease it. Okay, now hold on to your elbows. Inhale, keep your back long and straight. Exhale down. Do it again. Inhale up. Exhale down. Square your shoulders off. Now we'll stay down this time. Just rest here. That feels nice on the back, doesn't it? Giving it a little break. Now we take our hands on our thighs and we press ourselves up. Let your arms come down, roll your shoulders. All right, now we're stepping our feet apart. Take your hands on your legs. So this is just a little wider than shoulder width. Inhale, Exhale, forward and twist. Do it again. This also feels nice on the back, doesn't it? Feel the stretch across your chest through the front of your shoulder as well. All right, we come back to the center. Walk your feet in. And we're going to hold on to the chair. We're going to do more than just hold on. We're actually going to press our palms down, the heel of our hands, and we're going to lift the torso up as a result. Can you feel that? Let's do it again. Press and lift, release. Press and lift, release. Now, if this is troublesome for your wrists, if it doesn't feel comfortable, you can try doing fists. I have a hard chair. Fists doesn't feel very good on my hard chair. So you can put less weight on your hands if that's better for your wrists. We only have 2 more. 1 more. All right, now put a little bit of pressure on your hands, not too much, and check this out. Don't let your shoulders ride up. Now, we're going to float the right foot off the floor. So it's off the floor, maybe 2 inches, something like that. If you need to keep your toes down, that's okay, but try to pick your whole foot up. Flex your foot so it's parallel to the ground. And then we'll come down. Did you feel that on the right side of your body? Let's try this side. So remember, we have a little bit of weight on our hands. Your toes are down if they need to be. And then down and switch. How about opposite arm? Down and switch. You're still pressing with your palm, opposite arm. Not leaning back, lifting the crown of your head up nice and high. Now, can you try both arms? Let's try it. Right foot, both arms. Go back to hands on the chair if you need to. And then down and switch. Can you feel it in your hip flexors right here? We're going to stretch those out in just a moment. All right, now hold on to the chair, extend your leg forward, point your toe this time. Shoulders back and down, push into the chair seat with your hands a little bit. Now let's float our foot off the floor. This time it's maybe 3, maybe 4 inches off the floor. Feel that in the front of your thigh, maybe still in your hip flexors. And then down and slide it in. Let's do the other side. Slide it out, lift, push into the chair with your hands. And then down. Let's do it again. How about the opposite arm? Do your best to sit up straight here. Down and switch. Last one. And then all the way down. All right, here's that hip flexor stretch I promised you. Separate your feet. Turn. We're in a seated lunge now. Try to have 90 degrees with both of your knees. Rock your pelvis forward a little bit. Feel that stretch deep in your hip flexors. And then stretch your back leg out a little straighter. I like to recommend that you wiggle it back and forth to get it back there, because your foot might not slide if you're wearing athletic shoes. They're kind of designed not to slide very much. So you might have to wiggle it back. And we'll stay here. Now, if you need to lean forward a little bit in order to get your leg back, go ahead and lean forward. But notice the difference between leaning forward like this, which is what we don't want, and leaning forward like this. So try to have more of a straight line with your back. If you don't need to lean forward, though, you're sitting up as vertically as you can. Okay, easy does it now. You can slide or wiggle your back foot in a little bit so we can turn to the other direction. And then we start with our 90 degrees with both of our knees. Hold on to the chair as much as you need to be comfortable. Tuck your pelvis forward. Let's stay here with that deep hip flexor stretch. I feel like lunging in the chair is almost more effective than lunging when you're standing, because you don't have to carry the weight of your body when you're lunging like this. As far as the stretch goes, I feel like this is almost more effective. All right, sliding or wiggling your back foot back, leaning forward if you need to with your torso, but do it in a straight line like this, or stay upright. Stay here. There's a lot of benefits to lunging, whether you're seated or standing up doing it, a lot of benefits. Strength benefits if you're standing up and holding your body weight. Weight-bearing lunges is excellent for stretching and strengthening. This is excellent for stretching. All right, and then we're coming out of this and we're turning forward once again. Now we'll come to the center of the seat of our chair once again. We're not using the back of the chair. We're going to separate the feet about shoulder width. Turn the toes out a little bit. Now we're going to shift the weight over to one hip. And I want you to hold on to the chair at first if you need to. Otherwise, maybe you can have your hands on your lap. So we haven't lifted this hip up, but it's very, very light. But I still can't get my hand under my hip. You should do the same. Stay lifted and straight with your back. Now, both hips are equally heavy. Let's shift the weight over to our other hip. And we'll stay with this. So our legs are going to help us balance, our core stability is going to help us balance, and our vision is going to help us balance as well as our inner ear. Let's shift to the first hip. Now, if you feel like you can tolerate it, take this arm out and this arm down. So now we just made it more challenging. Is it still good for you? Go back to this, or even holding on to the chair if you need to. Now we come back to center and we switch. This one goes out, this one goes down. So there's a lot of weight on our left hip right now. All right, and then we come to the other side, switch. Now, if you can, and you might want to hold on to the chair, heel toe the straight arm, straight out to the side, your left side, heel toe that foot away. So we just made it quite a bit tougher, right? You're still reaching the crown of your head away from your tailbone. Now slide in and switch. This one goes down, this one goes out. You shift your weight, and then we heel toe the right leg out. Your chest is still facing straight ahead. And you're breathing. Now we bring everything in. How about this? Instead of your arm hanging down, take this arm across, take this arm out, heel toe your foot out. So your foot is still on the ground. Even though your left hip is light, your left foot is still on the ground. All right, and then we'll come in and we'll switch. This arm goes across, this arm goes out, and this foot goes out. Your chest is still facing straight ahead, or it should be. All right, let's come in. Let's bring our legs back to hip joint distance apart. Hold on to your elbows and tip forward. You keep your back straight. Let your back recover. We just worked our core muscles pretty intensely there. Shoulders away from ears, hands on the legs. Let's press ourselves up. Now we scoot forward, your hips and your feet. Slide your hands up onto the back of the chair. Go as high up the back of the chair as you can. Now watch the shoulders. So before you get fully into it, watch. Shoulders down, upper back narrow, chest is broad. And then we'll stay here. Take some deep breaths into your chest. Feel the stretch there. All right, sit all the way up. Now you're still holding on to the back of the chair. Slide your right leg forward. Make sure that this is comfortable. Where you're sitting on the seat of the chair is comfortable and stable, and your chair is not going to tip. All right, then keep your left hand where it is and take your right hand as far down as you can. Now this creates a little bit of twist, so your chest turns a little bit to the left, and we'll stay here. The foot is flexed on your right side. All right, let's come up, and then we'll reverse that. Bend, straighten, hand, slide your right hand up if you can, tip forward, make sure you're stable and secure in the chair. And then we twist the chest a little bit to the right. Oh, that feels so nice. If it doesn't feel nice, you might be stretching too far, so take care. Correct what you need to correct. If you're not a fan of stretching, try doing easy, gentle, pleasant stretches. It really does feel better to do it that way, and you might be inclined to do it more often if it's not so uncomfortable. All right, let's come up. Bend both of your knees. Let's scoot back again, back to where we originally were sitting, not against the back of the chair with the back, and then walk your feet together. Now cross your right ankle over your left ankle, or your right ankle over your left knee. And then we'll practice just sitting up tall here. Just tall and straight. Now keep your legs stable. Don't let them wiggle around like this. Keep them really anchored and planted. You're still tall and straight. Take your left hand on top of your knee, and then take your right hand behind you and twist. Remember, you're making an effort to turn your chest, maybe even more so than turning your face. And then we come back to the center. Take both feet down. Once again, your ankles and knees are together. Roll your shoulders. Now left ankle over right ankle, or left ankle over right knee. Just sitting up tall. Feel that powerful stretch in your left hip. No wobbly or wiggly legs, right? Shoulders down. Your back is neutral, turning now, looking over the left shoulder or toward the left shoulder. Think about turning your chest more, not so much your face more, but your chest. And then we'll come back to the center. All right, we separate our feet to about shoulder width. Your right hand is on the seat of the chair. Inhale, left arm goes over. As you exhale, stay here. Now we're trying to curve the spine. So you're not trying to stay straight like we were earlier when we were doing that balancing move. We're actually trying to push the left ribs out to the left while we're leaning over to the right. Feel the difference. Feel the stretch in your left side. Now let's come up. Roll your left shoulder a couple times, back and down, and then we'll switch. You're tall and straight. Inhale, exhale over. Push your ribs to the right while you lean to the left. Now what's going on with this shoulder? Is it hiked up or can you drop it down? Try to drop it down. Remember, we're making it pleasant and tolerable, so we're more apt to do it more regularly. Keep that in mind with your stretches. All right, back to the center we go, and we roll the right shoulder around, back and down, and then release. Take a deep breath, and then let it out. So how do you feel now? Do you feel like you challenged your balance a little bit? Do you feel like you have a little bit more mobility in your body and your joints and your connective tissue? I hope so. As usual, thank you for joining me, and until next time, be well.